our friends and also our brothers who are hearing Society of Petroleum Engineers for the very first time, we need to explain to them, we need to talk more about what and who Society of Petroleum Engineers are. So SPE, as we normally say, is a global professional organization for individuals involved in the upstream oil and gas industry. And there is one thing, there is a similarity between SPE and Ghana, in that Ghana gained independence in 1957 and SPE was established in 1957. I think it is something that we are learning today and it will forever stick in our mind. Okay, so that's SPE. Now with SPE, SPE has branches or regions across the globe. So SPE has over 143 regions, and Ghana happens to be one of its regions. So we have SPE Ghana, which is organizing the program this afternoon. So it is a capacity building program, and just as we saw on the flyer, we are looking at computer programming and AI. So capacity building programs, especially programming, as we are going to do, is so essential to students and also industry players, in that it is a form of skill development. So the world is moving at a pace where technology is everything. It is because of that you and I are able to even communicate and also join this program from our various homes. So there is no need for anyone to even set time to explain why technology is so important in our academics and also in the industry. So it is so important for us, and we are so grateful unto SPE Ghana for giving us such a wonderful opportunity. We may not get it anywhere. I understand that most of us, we do such courses in our schools, but we may not get the in-depth knowledge that our resource personnel this afternoon is going to teach us, or he is going to explain to us. So this evening, we happen to be at the right place, and most importantly, at the right time. And we are going to learn a lot. I'm going to learn a lot, and I know you are also going to learn a lot. So Adolf, if you can come in for me, you understand that capacity building programs are essential programs. Even back in school, we organize programs like that. Can you really share with me what you really got from such programs as we get near to start our program this afternoon? Hello, Adolf. Can you hear me? Can anybody hear me, please? Hello?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. So if Adolf is not around, please, I need just one person to explain to me or to share with us what he or she got from capacity building programs back in school, or even if you are still in school, what you have gained from capacity building programs as we get near to start our program this afternoon. Can anybody hear me? Who is going to help me with that, please? Or do you prefer I mention names? I'm not going to do that. So please, capacity building programs, what did you gain from them back in school?
I would say that if I may.
You can speak, please.
Excellent. It's helped me to improve bridge my knowledge gap, and two, my skills gap, and ultimately made me a better person, have better understanding in terms of subject areas of interest.
Thank you very much. So the most important part that I took from what he just said was it has really helped him to build himself. And this is the main reason why we are here this afternoon. So without much ado, I would like to introduce our resource personnel this afternoon. And he's an IT enthusiast and a graduate engineer. So if you are wondering, is he a lecturer or where is he? He's an IT enthusiast and he's a graduate engineer. And the one thing that I really like about his profile is he's a versatile professional with skills as a full stack web developer and also game developer. So most of my guys will understand who a game developer is. And I know the ladies also understand, or they have heard something about web development. So he is a web developer and also a game developer. So he has extensive experience and profound knowledge in computer programming. That's why he is here this afternoon, to take us through so many things that for some of us, we may not have heard before, or there are things that we have heard, but we didn't really understand. So he's always open to learning new technologies. So that's why AI came into being just recently, but he has an in-depth knowledge in AI. This is all because he has a skill, and this skill is he's open to learning new technologies. Mr. Dickson is passionate advocate for AI and its potential to address real-world problems. And he boasts a strong background in engineering. As I said earlier on, he is not any mere person, but he's also an engineer like some of us. So, and he is not only a skilled entrepreneur, but also a visionary leader committed to making Ali AI the most powerful and user-friendly AI platform worldwide. So he has his own AI platform, which is Ali AI. And this is a man who is an engineer and also an entrepreneur. So even his profile is going to boost us. Even his profile is going to speak to us that we shouldn't just limit ourselves to our engineering programs or our engineering discipline, but also we can enter into entrepreneurship. We can enter into any other thing that is going to fetch us money, or that is going to make us happy during our leisure times. So without much ado, as I said earlier on, I would like to introduce Mr. Dickson and invite him to unmute himself so that we can have a little conversation. Then we start our program this afternoon. Mr. Dickson, you are welcome.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sam. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Dickson, so I've really said a lot about you. And for most people, it is so important they get to hear the profile or what the person really is doing all by himself and not from another person. So in the next 30 seconds or 1 minute, can you explain to us, can you tell us what Ali AI is, and are there opportunities for some of us to enter into such a business firm or an entrepreneurship faculty?
Okay, all right. So thank you so much for the opportunity. So you call it Ali AI, but the pronunciation is all AI, but then that's fine. So all AI, it's like the name literally means all AI. It's a platform where, all AIs come together. So our aim, our mission is to combine, the large language models out there. So ChatGPT, Bard, there's Claude, there's Grok from XAI, Gemini was released 2 days ago. So these AI models are coming up. So our mission is to combine their potential for the end user. And also, we also combine not just large language models, but also image generation models, and then audio models, and then video models as well. So these things are new. So as they are coming up, we are trying to bring them together on one platform. Hello?
We can hear you, please.
All right, sure. So for the end user, the end user can easily harness their combined potential. So it's a platform for combined AI.
Okay. Thank you very much. So the second part of the question was, are there avenues, or is there any way some of us can end up like you in the AI firm?
Oh, okay. So end up as creating their own platform.
Either creating their own platforms or joining you in Ali AI.
Oh, okay. So we currently have interns. We have a lot of interns, and some of them are very good. So yeah. So if you have a skill set, any skill set, front end, back end, any skill set you want, you can just reach out to me. My email is dickson@oya.com. I'll post it in the chat so you can talk from there. And also, if you want to build your own system, well, yes. One advice I'll give is we have the project in mind before you start, you figure out the language. So let's say you want to build a system like OAI. So you come up with a say, okay, fine, I want to build a system like OAI. Then you start with that. Then okay, fine. So will I make it web-based, mobile-based, like desktop-based? Then you start going, okay, web-based. Okay, web-based, which framework, which language should I use? Python, PHP, C Sharp, .NET, they're all there. So like most people think, oh, let me learn programming, then I'll do this. But then I'll tell you, come up with a project, sit down, what do you want to do? Then you take it from there. So if you want to do something like this, just start by, coming up with a project idea, brainstorming, and then along the, even if you don't know programming, because you learn by doing. I'll be talking more about this. Learn by doing. So you just don't learn and then sit down. You learn by doing the thing itself. So I think that's what I'll say concerning that.
Thank you very much, Mr. Dixon, Engineer Dixon. Please, lastly, you talked about interns. May I know if you have room for service personnel?
Yeah, we have service personnel too. So if you are a service personnel interested in joining us, you can let me know. Like that we are actually looking for some. So if you are a service personnel and you are interested, let me post my email right now.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. So, friends, colleagues, I'm sure you have heard him, and this is an opportunity that we should all take them. This is an opportunity that we cannot let it slide. So if you are here and you are still in school and you want to intern at Ali AI, then the opportunity is there for you. If you want to do your national there also, the door is open for you. So please, let's take note of this opportunity and let's try as much as possible to let it benefit us. So Mr. Dixon, I think time is fast spent and you have a lot to tell us this afternoon. So what should we expect from you at the end of the day? So what should we expect from you? Lastly, then we can start.
Okay, so I just wanted to I'm going to give you a high level overview of what computer programming is, and then I'll introduce you to Python briefly, and then we'll play with some code, and then we'll enjoy ourselves.
All right. Thank you. So please, anyone on this platform, in case in the course of the program you have a question or you don't understand anything, first of all, you can drop your question in the chat box. Or if you want to ask him yourself, then you will wait for us to give you the opportunity. So I will repeat that again. If you have any question in the course of the program, you can send your question in the chat box, or you can wait when the opportunity is given to you, then you ask him. Is there any question? If there is no question, then we can proceed and start.
Okay, so let me show my face and then let's move.
So Mr. Dixon, the platform is all yours. We are ready.
All right, so I think what's my face? Okay. All right, so hi there. Can you see my screen, everyone? Yes.
Yeah, we can see your screen.
Yes, please.
Okay. So I'm about to give a high-level introduction to what programming is and what computing is. And I'll use Python to do that. So let's just get right into it. And I'll be jumping from slide to code, slide to code, slide to code. So if you are facing any challenges, like Sam said, just put it in the chat and then I'll get to see, and then they'll get to see and then prompt and can answer the question. Okay, so what is programming? So fine, I'm giving you a high level. So programming is just telling the computer to do something. So as you can see over here, computer programming involves writing instructions to the computer that the computer can understand and execute. I'm sorry for that. So it's just giving the computer instructions. So currently I'm speaking with you guys. I'm telling you something. Adolf, and then Sam gave me instructions. Okay, Dixon, yeah, you can proceed. So more like Adolf is the programmer and I'm the computer, and then he has just given me some instructions to move ahead. So the next step is, what is a program? So you know what programming is. Again, it's giving instructions to the computer for the computer to perform a specific task. And what is a program? So again, a program, more like the same programming. So a program is a set of instructions, as you can see over here, written in a particular programming language. So emphasis on particular programming language that the computer can execute. So more on the programming language, we know about English, French, C, Spanish, and all those things. Those are more like our normal languages we speak to ourselves. So if you want to interact with a computer, you do so with a programming language, and then we'll dive deeper into that, specifically Python. So yeah, what's a programming language? So a programming language is a set of rules that allows people, as anybody like you, to write instructions to the computer. So for example, you want the computer to display color red on the screen, you can just write some instructions to the computer for the computer's processor. We'll get into that side very soon. For the computer's processor to understand and then process that for you. All right. And next one, so programming language examples. So there's Python. I'm pretty sure you've heard of all these before. There's Python, there's PHP, there's Java, there's SQL, there's Swift, there's C Sharp. So for Python, yeah, Python is more like general purpose. And you can use Python for literally anything. You can use Python for literally anything currently. And so yeah, for web development, I usually use Python for my algorithms and stuff with no frameworks. But I have friends who use Python for web development. And in order for you to use Python for web development, there are frameworks like, okay, I'll explain what framework is. So framework, there are frameworks like Flask, and then hello, did someone say?
Hello, please. Let's mute ourselves so that we can have a fruitful program. Please,
Hello.
let's mute
Right.
ourselves. Right, Engineer Dixon, you can continue.
All right, sure. So Python, again, I said it's a general purpose programming language. It could be used for literally anything with the help of frameworks. So for example, if you want to use Python for web development, use a framework called Django. There's also a framework called Flask. They do the same job. So frameworks are like written code, pre-written code, like libraries, or a structure of always doing like a particular thing. Like more like a standard set for, let's say, for Django, if you are using Django, there's one way of like doing something that makes it easy for everybody. So if I just see a Django program, I know, okay, fine, this is that. If I want to edit this file, this is that. So that's about Python. And you can also use Python for game development. We are going to use Python for some we are going to play with Python right now for you to see how it works and all those things. So the next one is PHP. PHP is personally my favorite language, and I usually say it's my mother tongue. So for PHP, it's usually used for web server-side scripting. So server-side scripting means right now we are talking on Zoom, right? I'm over here behind my machine, you're over here behind your phone or your machine. You are clients, right? And then Zoom is the server. So whatever I'm doing here goes to Zoom and then it goes to wherever you are. So when you speak, it goes to Zoom and it comes. So languages like PHP help like server side. I don't know what Zoom people are using, but then I know Facebook was built with PHP. Hello. Okay, sure. All right. So when you do that, I think you have a question. So if you have a question, please post it in the chat. All right. Okay. So yeah, I was talking about PHP. So Facebook was built with PHP. So the backend for Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg used PHP to build the backend for Facebook. So when you go online and then you like your friend's photo, you see a photo, you repost and all those things, you share your photos and text somebody on Facebook. It's all powered by. All right. And then there's C. So C is like, it was found like a long time ago, around 1970. And it's also general purpose. And then when I mentioned C, okay, there's something I forgot to put over here. So you can group all these languages in, let's say, two. We have like high level languages and then lower level languages. I'll explain what they are. So high level languages are more like, when I began, I told you I was giving you a high level like overview of what programming is. So that means I'm just going to like give you a summary of what programming is. We won't go so deep into like the core of programming. I'll just give you a high level overview of what programming is. If you want to do this, where you have to go. If you want to do something, what you have to do. So if you want to build websites, right now you know you can use PHP. Right now you can use Python. You know you can use Python. So yeah, so high level languages, lower level languages. I want you to notice them. I didn't write them on the slide, but then put them in your head. Yeah. So high level languages, lower level languages. So a high level language is a language it's closer to human comprehension. So there are two definitions I'll explain for you. So a high level language, for example, Python is a very high level language. So a high level language is a language that's closer to human comprehension. That means it's more easy for human beings to write it. And a lower level, obviously, it's a little far away from human comprehension. So example of a lower level language is C. Although some people argue C is high, but then C is a low level language. And then there's also assembly. I don't know if you know assembly. And then machine code. Machine code is like ones and zeros. Let's see if I can show you something. So the difference between a high level language and a lower level language is abstractions. So what are abstractions? Abstractions are like layers. So if in order to make something very easy, right? Please let's meet ourselves, okay? Right.
Please let's mute ourselves.
Okay, then if you can see my screen. All right, so you can see my screen. So I want to let's see, ask you to
Please, let's mute ourselves because the echo and also the noise from the background is distracting the program. Please, let's do all to do that for us. This one is for all of us. So please check if the mute button is closed. Please, let's mute ourselves. Okay, Jeanette.
All right. So I was speaking about high level languages and lower level languages, and I said almost every language you hear of currently is a high level language because it's easy for human beings to write it. They've built lots of abstractions and layers. So abstractions are just layers. So in order to make something easy, you need to make it like you need to break it down into smaller pieces and then tackle them one by one. So most Python is a very easy language, honestly. It is a very, very easy language. You don't need to you don't need to do some things you do in other languages. So there are a lot of abstractions, and that makes Python very high level. And then with the low level languages like C, it's quite the syntax is quite not it's not really although you can still write it, it's not really like user friendly or it's not that easy. It has a very steep learning curve when it comes to if you want to be a C programmer. And also there are so many things you need to do yourself, more like memory management. So the resources on your machine is limited. So you have, you have 12 gigabytes of RAM, you have this space, you have this, you have that. If you're writing a program and you're writing it in C, you need to do you need to do most of those memory management yourself. And it's a lot. But when you're writing something like Python, when you're using Python to write code, you don't really do those memory management and things. So I've opened this up to show you something. I want to show you what machine code looks like. And also, hey, see if I can meet you. Right. Okay. Okay. So I want to show you what machine code looks like. And then that also brings to mind there's two types of languages as well. So I segregated the languages into two, higher level and lower level languages. So I'm going to segregate them into two again, like into another two, so like a different categorization of these languages. One is an interpreted language and then a compiled language. So the languages are here. We have Python, we have C, we have PHP, we have all of them. They're over here. So Python is an interpreted language. I'll explain what that means. PHP is an interpreted language. C is a compiled language. So a compiled language is a language that when you write the code, let's say I've written a C program to display happy birthday on my screen. So with that, it would, in order for like that program to run, first of all, the C compiler compiles your code to machine code, something that the processor will understand. And then before the processor can execute. So the code you wrote will be converted to something else called machine code. I'm going to show you what that looks like. And then from there, the processor runs it. So So let's see if I want to display something like let- okay. Right. So if I want to know hello, my name is Dixon, right? Hello. Do you see? I just type it, so let me see. So hello, if you see some ones and zeros down there, right? So basically everything we do, whatever you do on your this machine, these are Turing machines. So Alan Turing, I think you should go read about him. He's like the father of, let's say, program, like not program, the father of like computing, or the one who they say invented the computer also. So Alan Turing. So a Turing machine is basically every computer we are using right now. So the the processes, like the way they manufacture these processes, they only process these things once and zeros, like either on or off. So like there are transistors inside these small chips, and they process stuff like this. I won't take you so much there, but then I want you to see that whatever you are doing, the output is either one or zero. And it's like the sequence of a lot of ones and zeros. So if there were no programming languages, right? If there were no programming languages and we're supposed to like directly interact with the machine, this is what we are supposed to do, something like this. So if I want to type this, hello, my name is Dixon. Hello, my name is Dixon. Sorry, my name is Dixon. So something like this, what you're supposed to do. And I don't think anyone will be can do something like this. So yeah, so that's the essence of programming languages. And I think with time, there's even Scratch. I don't know if you've heard of Scratch. So Scratch is also a very, very, very high level programming language. Let me show you. I think a lot of kids go and learn Scratch. Scratch. I think it was made by the MIT people. Yeah, so here. So this is when you get time, go look at it. So Scratch is a very high level language for kids from MIT. So you can see MIT.edu. So you can join, and it's you basically code by dragging and dropping. You write code by just uh moving things around. Okay. So let's go back to our presentation. Okay, so yeah, about so wait. Okay, this is slideshow. Yeah, so I think if you're not okay with what high level, lower level, what is compiled, what is interpreted, what is machine code, all the things I'm saying, like I said, you can just put a question in the chat. If you are shy, you can actually message it to me directly. I'll still see. All right. Okay. And so this is one. So like I said, I've said a lot about programming languages. I have segregated them into two: what is high level, what is lower level, what is okay, there's another one that I'll mention whilst I'm going to Python. So what you can use them for if you want to build a game, if you want to, okay, I didn't mention the beginning. If you want to build a website, you can use Python for the backend. You can still use PHP for the backend. If you want to build something like games, you can use Python with that language. If you want to use build interfaces, you can use Python. There's this framework called Tkinter or TK Inter. I don't know how you, depends on how you pronounce it. You can use Python to make desktop UIs and all these things. And also, if you want to make games, like solid games, you could use C Sharp. There are frameworks, a lot of frameworks, but now you call them game engines, but they're very heavy. So Unity, I think Unity uses C Sharp, and then there's Unreal. Unreal uses C++. You can use these frameworks to build games. So let's go to Python. So Python again, Python is a very high level language. It's an interpreted language. And what again? It's very easy, yes. So as you're going to go to, you can see it's very, very, very easy. Very easy. You don't need to end with simple. You get to see most of the things you have to do in other languages. You don't have to do them in Python. So let's dive inside. Okay. So there are portions of like I should have mentioned this. Once you are going through, I want you to note them. I don't know if you are writing them down, but then the first we start with the variable. So variables, they are like 7 pillars in like all programming. 7 pillars in all programming. I have uploaded this slide to before I continue I'm posting a link. I don't know if you can see. Okay, can you see it yourself? Okay, so okay. So I've uploaded the slide to to a link. I posted the link. So if you want to look at the slides later on, another material, so you write code over here. So all the code you write, everything will be here. I'll upload them to this link. It's not sending. Okay. Okay, so okay. Okay, fine. Okay. So also passing some messages. Thank you. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. So I've uploaded the slides over there. So if you go to this link, you can see my slides and then you can download them and use them for you. I'll upload the code you write over there too. And then if you have any problems, you can email the email I sent, dixon@oya.com, and then I'll attend to you. So like I said, they are like pillars in programming. I personally call them pillars because I think in every language you need to know them to be okay. More like how when you take English, you take French, you have verbs, you have nouns, you have pronouns, you have prepositions, you have adjectives, those things. So I don't know, forgotten how they were called in English, but in program I call them pillars. So we have variables. We're going to talk about one of them. So there are variables in every language, like variables. So the name variables, it can change. So again, variable, I'm pretty sure if you finish reading, variable is a name, storage, location. Name, storage, location that uses like that it's used to store data values. So if you want to keep something, you keep them in variables. Okay. So there's the opposite side of variable. If that something doesn't change, it's constant, right? So there are constants as well. But then in Python, there's no explicit data type. That's like there's no explicit constant data type. So all the data types in Python are variable. So I'm sorry if you don't know what the data type is, but I'll go there right now for you to see. So this is how we assign variables. So something like this, so name equals value. So writing Python is just like writing math functions. And I'm pretty sure we've all been writing math functions like math expressions from like JHS. So if you want to write x equals to 2, y equals to 4, 2x plus y, see all those things. So writing Python is similar to something like that. So if you want to declare a variable and then put a value over there, you just say name equals to value. So the name is the name of the variable. You can name the variable any name you want with some exceptions. I'll show you those exceptions. So if you want to name the variable Kwame, you can name it Kwame. If you want to name the variable Etia, you can name the variable Etia. If you want to name it after anybody, you can name the variable after anybody. Okay. So this is how we do variables. So I would practice this very quickly for you to see my ID. So I'll open my ID. And okay, so what is an ID? So they said I should make this beginner friendly. So what is an ID? So an ID is like it's the ID is integrated developer environment. So that means it's just something that helps you write code. Okay, so I'm pretty sure we all know of Notepad. So so we all before head of Notepad, we all know what it is. So Notepad, I can go and then write some text inside Notepad. So an ID is basically Notepad, is basically a text editor, but then it's a specialized type of text editor that helps programmers write code. So for example, if I was typing something like this, like so let me start with the variable. So I'm saying I'll name my variable. I'll name my variable farming. And then farming is, let's say, I give the value to MC8 for now. So I could just type this in Notepad. When I type this in Notepad, I won't see the colors, right? I won't see the 8 being blue and then stuff. And let's say I want to then copy is let's say a good boy, right? I'll show you something good boy. So as you can see, so Kofi, then the good boy is green. So what the IDE basically does is it helps you write code and it makes it easy for you to like organize your code as well. So you can see on the left side, my directories over there. I have my main file, I have my sample to.py, I have my test.py and everything. So Python scripts, they have the py extensions. So if you want to process Python scripts, if you write a Python script and you want to run it, it should end with the extension .py. But like if you have a picture, the extension of the picture is either JPEG, JPG, or PNG. For Python is .py. Yeah, so I mentioned that. So that's the IDE. So this IDE is called PyCharm. You can use any IDE. And I wanted to show you how to download. So I'll recommend PyCharm because PyCharm is specifically made for programming. There are other ones as well. There's Visual Studio Code, there's brackets, there's bracket one for brackets. There's Notepad++. There's Notepad++. That's like an enhanced version of Notepad for code. And then there is Sublime. There's Sublime Test. There's Code Blocks. So most of the IDEs are more like, some are general purpose, some are like Visual Studio. You can use to write anything. Some too are like, they've made it specifically for a particular language. It's more like PyCharm. Sorry, this is PyCharm. I'll go online and I'll show you. So this is PyCharm. The PyCharm has been like specifically made for like for Python. So PyCharm. If you want to download it, you go here, JetBrains. So the makers of providers of the PyCharm IDE, they're called JetBrains. So you go to your website. Let me just click over here. Let me go to the website. I want to hear how to install it, but I think it will take a while. So when you have the time, I just go and install them yourself. But then I'll show you over here. I think I told you about my network is much now. All right. Yeah, so you come on. Yeah. So basically, JetBrains comes PyCharm. Then there are two versions. There's a community version and there's an enterprise. You pay for one of them. So when you go download the community version, okay, so I don't spend so much money. You can use it for free. But if you want more features, you can actually create for the enterprise version. But then the free version, I'm not using the free version, works very fine. So it's taking a while. Come on. So again, an IDE is or integrated development environment, something that helps you write code. So you can see my code colored over here very nicely in PyCharm. And then I was showing you what a variable is and how to declare a variable. And that's over here. So name equals to value. So when you come over here to PyCharm, as you can see, name equals to value. Name equals to value. So you can see over here, Kwame is 8 and then the Kofi is a good boy, and I play some codes about it. So those are data types. We'll go there very soon and then show you what they are. Okay, so now let's move to data types. So again, data types. Again, a variable stores data, right? And then there are different kinds of data. So there are different types of data. So I'm going to see what those different types of data, like see what they are. So there are numeric data types, so numbers. So in Python, there are a lot of data types in Python. The first one I'm going to talk about is int. So this one, int. So the int data type obviously is an integer as its name, but then in a lot of languages, int. In some like C++ or C#, if you want to declare something as an int, as an integer, you have to use the keyword int, I'll come to keywords too. So, but then with Python, you can see over here that when I was declaring the Kwame to be 8, I didn't specify whether Kwame is int or Kwame will be int or Kwame will be a different type of data. I didn't specify, I just did it. That's why I was like, Python is very easy. There are a lot of abstractions, so you don't really need to specify your data type yourself. The language itself infers from the value given to it, and then it just tells you, okay, now Kwame is an int. So by putting 8 over here, right, Kwame becomes an int. Okay, so that's an integer. And then there's floating point numbers as well. So the second one is called a floating point number over here. So a floating point number is just a decimal point number. So anything with points, something point, something point, something in programming, we call floating points. And what I'm talking about here is valid for other programming languages as well. So when you go to a language like PHP, you find the integer data type. You find the floating point data type. When you go to a language like C, you still find the same thing. When you go to a language like other like Java, JavaScript, like do you find the data type over here? So int, float, they are all the same. So you can also, I'm sorry, let me do a quick. So I'm going to I wish someone could tell me in the chat over, or let me just do it. If I want to declare a variable and then make it a floating point number, I'll say this is like a temperature. So I want to give it, like, I want to make it a floating point number. Obviously, like I said, this is Python. You don't have to explicitly like find that this is a floating point number. You just have to say this is a variable, and then the number I'm giving it to say, okay, since it's temperature, so it's 60.5 maybe degrees Celsius or something. Okay. So now the first one is an int. The first data type farming, first variable farming is of data type int. The second one, coffee. I'll come there, you don't know yet. And the third one is a floating point number. So okay. So these are numeric data types. If you want to manipulate numbers in Python, you usually use int and then float. There are other ones as well. So in other languages, there's big int, like big int. So int, there's a limit, like I said, those memory management stuff. In Python, you don't have to do memory management. So you don't really have to worry about the size of the number. But in languages like C, if you give it like a 30-digit number, it won't be able to process it. So you have to do some other things before you can actually process 30-digit numbers. But with this one, there are models like NumPy and the rest. You can use them to manipulate these numbers. All right. So the next data type, I'm going to check data type. Why have you unmuted all? Do you have a question? Okay. Right. So the next data type I'm going to talk about is the text data type, strings. So strings are basically anything text. Okay. So text. I did the Kwame, the Kofi to be a good boy. So Kofi is a good boy. So this is a string. So if I using PyCharm, if it's highlighted as green, you know it's a string. If it's highlighted as with sea blue or a little brighter, you know it's an int. So again, this is the help of the IDE. If I was writing this in something like Notepad, I wouldn't be able to see the color differences. But then the IDE helps me. And okay. So the next data type is text. That's what I just showed you. Now let's go to the next data type. The next data type, I'm pretty sure you saw it already. It's called a bool. So a bool is just Boolean. And like again, this is valid for other programming languages as well. So in PHP, you still have a Boolean. In C, you have a Boolean. In JavaScript, you have a Boolean. There you have a Boolean. And Boolean is it just has two values, so either true or false. So it's either there or not there. So you can see for int, you can put any number, they can put 1, you can put 2, you can put 3, you can put 4, you can put 5, you can put like any number you want. For the string data type, you can put any text you want. You can put he's a good boy, you can put he's going to school, you can put he's drinking water, you can put anything you want there. But for the bool, it takes only two values. And the only two possible values of this data type, it's either true or false. Yes. So if you declare something as a bool, the only value it takes is either true or false. So let's do that one. So you see, so if I want to do a bool, so it's actually it's average, something like that. And okay. So what I'm doing is called this sneak piece. So you see, is average. I did is and an underscore average. So it's more like a conventional, it's like a standard of writing names of variables. So if you do something like this, it's called snake case. There's another one to call camel case. The terms are a lot, but as we are going, you get to know. And don't get scared if you don't understand anything. It's it's not you just get it along the way. So it's average, it's either true or false. So true. So if I want to do another one, so it's average 2, I'll just say false. Yeah. Okay. So the first is average and the second is average. They are all booleans. And then, like I said, if something is a boolean, the only value you can take is either true or false. And then for the second, let me make the second one camel casing. So if you are naming something and then you want to use the camel casing standard, you name the variable like this. So it's average. So it's then combined and the rest of the word start with caps. So it's like camel's back. I think if you picture camel's back, there's a hump like a big uprising and then goes down again. So something like that. So if you're naming your variables on line 5, if you're naming your variables that will be average, it's called camel casing. And then if you're naming it like the one on line 4, it's called snake casing. Okay. So now let's see the next data type. Again, if you don't get anything, you see right now, and then I can address it. Because when you do too much, you come back, like this, waiting. So, yeah. Hi, guys there. Hi.
Yes,
Hi
we
there.
are
I'll
here.
mute myself.
Yes, please. Yes.
Yes, that's
No,
okay.
we are here.
Thank you so much. Okay, so the next data type is a sequence data type. The sequence data type, there are two of them. There are list and there are tuples. So some people call it tuple, the second part, but I pronounce it as a tuple. So the first is the list and second is a tuple. And in other programming languages, you won't find lists and you find tuples. You find something called arrays. So arrays are like ARRAYS. They're like matrices. I'm pretty sure we are familiar with what a matrix is. So it's like you have a 2x2 matrix, you have a 4x4 matrix, you have a it's 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 one thing, but it has a lot of things inside. Good. So in Python, if you want to list you want to keep a matrix in Python, you can keep it as a list. You can keep it as a tuple. But then I'll tackle the list first, and I'll tackle like they are basically the same things, but then there's a unique difference, a very big difference between what a list is and what a tuple is. As you can see, I have mutable and I have immutable over here. So I'm going to declare a list for you to see, then you go on. Okay. So the next one is a list. There's something I'm not doing yet because I've not mentioned it, but then after this I'll do. So my should I say my list or my to-do list. So I'm using the camel case. Okay. So I'm using the camel case approach. I'm naming my variables. So my to-do is so in order to like if you want to declare a list or if you want to make a different type of list or put a lot of things inside one thing, use a list or you can use a list. So let's say I want my to-do list in the morning, I'll wake up. So wake up is a string. Right? So I'll wake up and then I can put it, you put them in the comments. And then when I wake up, what do I do? I'll brush my teeth or okay, no, that thing is I'll brush my teeth and then I'll brush. And then the next one I'll bath. And then and I'll go outside. I'll go outside. So this is a list, but then it's a list with like the content inside has only one data type. So I want to do something for you right now. So this is a list. This is so what I just did. I call comments. So when you're writing programs, when you're writing code, you realize like the code gets like a lot, like a lot, like thousands of lines, a lot. So if you write code, let's say last year, and then you take the code again, you probably get confused, even though you're the one who wrote it. So comments help you to talk to your future self, and also talk to other programmers. So what I just did, the hash symbol and then the list is how we do comments in Python. So what I did is just a single line comment. So I commented like against the list to know it's a list. And this is what an int. So I just do something like this. So if you just can, okay, line 1 is an int. So you can type anything you want, like you can type plain English and then you want to put your program. And as you can see, the IDE helps you. The IDE formats the text in a way that you can see it's a comment. So all comments are more like grayish. So you can say, okay, this is a comment. So if you are typing a comment and then let's say the color changes to something like this, and the color has changed, you see. So if you know I'm not typing a comment, what I'm doing might probably affect my program. By me, you bring the list, the hashtag, everything is now a comment. And you can make comments everywhere. So you can even begin the line. So this is a comment. Like I said, comments won't affect your program. More like talking to your future self in the code and also talking to other programmers in the code. All right. So I'm going to comment everything up to this is a string, right? I mentioned a string data type. This is a floating point number. So which and then this is what a bool, like a boolean. I just say bool. This is also a bool. All right. So after bool, and then I might do it. So this list, see, this list has one data type. You can also have list with different data types. Like, so for example, let's say I have a list of students, right? Students, and then I have here, the first is, let's say, the student name. So the student name is, let's say, Blessing Dapa, right? Is a student name, and that's it. And then the second is, let's say, the age of the student, right? So let's say 21, as you can see over here. And this is the third one, let's see, the mark the student had in a particular subject. So let's say that one will be 98.4. Okay. So as you can see, this is still a list, right? With different types of data, with different kinds of data. So as you can see at first I started with Kwame and an int. So the Kwame could only take 8. And then my comments. And then the third one is a Kofi, it's a good boy. Also a string. The last one is the fourth one is temperature, a float, average, all bools. And but when it comes to my to-do, I have a lot of like strings inside. And when it comes to a student, I have a lot of like stuff inside. So the list is a data type that can help you, let's say, instead of you putting lesson Gankwa, putting 21, putting 98, and then putting all those things inside different like variables, you can kind of combine them and put them in one variable. And then okay, so this word immutable. Okay, so if you really get like the English meaning of mutable and immutable, lists are mutable. Mutable means in this sense you can change them. So if you want to change the value of I started with let's say blessing, and then if I want to change maybe blessing, like when we check the marks again, she had 100. If we want to manipulate 98.4, we want to change that 90.4 to 100, we can do it. And then we'll do it later in the program. So right now let's just focus on we can't change it. So can be changed and another one can be changed. Right? So list can be changed. I'll just write it somewhere here. So just write it again. So this can be modified. It can be modified. This can be modified. Okay. And right. So the next one is tuples or tuples, depending on how you want to pronounce it. So tuples are similar to lists, like basically like no difference. But the only difference is they can't be changed. So a tuple is a list that cannot be changed. So again, I'm going to do another one. So see, I give a tuple. Let's see, the tuple is like I just struggle with coming up with this random stuff. So you can help me out, see. So participant, right? Participant, right? Oh, country, sure. So if I want to create a tuple of like participants, if I want to create a tuple of participants, you can see the list I started with the square braces, like the box. Like see this box, this one, this box, and then can you see my screen? Like, is it so small? Or should I zoom out? Any feedback?
It's pretty fine at
I
my
think
end.
Okay.
I think
If
you
my
can
screen is
zoom in if you want. But it's okay. It's okay.
it's okay, okay. It's very okay for me. So in case you can't see, let me just try this.
Probably when you increase the lines of code, you probably may have to zoom out a bit.
Okay. All right. So I think it's fine now, right? Okay. Right.
Yeah, excellent.
Okay. All right. So now I want to create a couple of like participants, and I'll just put stuff aside. So again, I can see Samuel. I'll just put Samuel over here. Then I can see Adolf. I'll just put Adolf over here. And then I can see Tabby. Okay. So I just put Tabby here. And it's and that's MPHRY. MPHRY. Okay. Okay. So when I do this, okay. So this is a tuple. I cannot change it. If you try, there are functions you can use to manipulate it to play with them along the line. If I want to, let's say, change Samuel to something else, I'll get an error because it's a tuple. If I want to change it, then I have to make it a list. More like keep the square braces. Oh, sorry. More like give the square braces like this. Like this. Sorry. Like this. What am I doing? Okay. And then like that. So with this one, I can change it. It becomes a list now. But then we are doing tuples. So okay. Tuples. All right. So you can manipulate tuples. You can set them. So tuples are more like constant lists. So yes, if you want to, if you are working, so the reason I'm actually showing you all this is if you are working in your program, there are times you need to have some things you can't change. There are times you need to have some things you can change. There are times you need to have a string. There are times you need to have floating point numbers, like decimal numbers. There are times you need to have like a whole like sort of data types. There are times you need to know whether something is on or off. Then you use a bool to try true or false, something like that. So we'll design a sample program today. Yeah, I think with the time we design a sample program and then we'll see how stuff like this works. So you don't worry about it. And we move very fast to okay. So sequence data types are done, and then mapping data types. So this is where it gets exciting. So I need to have dictionaries in Python. So dictionaries. You actually think of it like in a literal sense of a dictionary. In a dictionary, when you open a dictionary, we have words and their meanings. Like we have like words and then their meanings. So if I open a dictionary, I'm looking for the words. Then I get the word, I get the meaning. So in Python dictionaries, it's kind of similar, but then let me explain again. So dictionaries are like it's more like a list because it's a lot of data. You like putting a lot of things inside one variable. But then there's key value pairs. So key value. So for example, for a literal dictionary, a normal dictionary, when you let's say I want the meaning for the word, let's say gregarious. So I'll be looking for GG gregarious, GG. The key I'm looking for now is gregarious. That's the key, like G. That becomes my key. And then the meaning of the gregarious becomes the value. So in Python dictionaries, it's the same thing. So we have this name, then your colon, then the value. Name, then the colon, and the value. So let me do one for you right now and then see how it works. Okay, so now tuples, now let's move to dictionaries. So dictionaries are saved. Okay. Let's see, personalities. I want to like personalities. Personalities. Then we start with this curly bracket. We do like this. Good. So in dictionaries, we want to stay with formal words. if I break or if all right, okay. So in dictionary, if you want to make a dictionary in Python, basically this is how you start. So I want to go back to list. To the list, you start with the curly braces, the box with the box brackets, and then with tuples, you use the curly, okay, the smooth like bracket, the normal bracket. And then when it comes to the dictionaries, we use curly braces. So with dictionaries, so this person, I just want to keep personalities of like people I know. So I'll start with Samuel. So I'll just say Samuel, right? And my value. So this is the key, and then my value comes an honorable man. So something like this. Good. So my key is Samuel, and then my value is an honorable man. And also, again, it can have like any like your keys should be text, and then your value can be anything. So in the key, this is the key. So this is the key with the value. So I key value pairs. So key value pairs, key value pairs. And I have to mention the values can be lists as well. So the value of a dictionary in Python can even be another dictionary. Like you can have an inside, and even in the list, like I can have like another list inside this my to-do list. I can have another tuple inside the participants, so you can fix them. So more like how we have like 2x3 matrices. We have 2x3 matrices. We can even have like matrices inside matrices. We can have lists inside lists. We can have tuples inside tuples. We can have tuples and lists inside personality inside dictionary. Sorry, and it's another one. So let's see, Flaby. Oh, sorry. So again, if you want to do strings, since I'm just writing text, I'm putting them in the brackets because it's very important for Python to know that it's a string. So Flaby, I would say I don't know, Flaby is a good boy, right? I don't know. Okay, so, I don't know. Maybe. Oh, okay. I want to show you this. Wow, this came up. Thank you so much. Good. It worked. Yeah, I think it worked. See, this is what happened. See this done, right? When I'll type it on, so I don't know. I don't know. So see for the I don't know to be a string, I have to put it in the semicolons, right? But then don't you have this is not attached. So when I did, as you can see, there's an error. See this light bulb over here trying to warn me that there's an error. I need to see. There's this light bulb over here trying to warn me. So there is what do you want? In order to like make this inverted comma, this comma a normal one, like you want it to be part of the string, you use something like this. So this. So when you do this, everything's all right. Like, and then you see the ID has formatted it in a way that I see, okay, fine. So this is yeah telling Python this is not the end of my string. This is not the end of my string. This is part of the statement. So when you output, I don't know, we'll output stuff on the console and then you see. So basically, this is the console. Okay, so you can see users, Dixon, PyCharm projects, all those things. This part, this 0, 1, 2, 3, this part is my console. It's my console, or people call it terminal. So it's where you can output some like that. You can see your output of your code. It takes inputs as well, so you can see we use them doing some inputs and stuff. So and now we have almost all the data types in Python. Then there's more. Some books and then some platforms will tell you range is a data type, will tell you sets are data types. Like, but then but I don't think that data types because like more like this can be a set. We can give a range of a number of sub numbers and they are all ints. So it depends on how you see it, but some literature will tell you there are more data types than this. So let's move on and where is it? Yeah, going back forth to the code is unread, right? Let's just move on. Okay, so mapping the types and then keywords. Remember when I was like if you remember, I said something over here. You can name like a variable anything you want. Name equals, but then there are some exceptions, right? You can't name a value that you can't just name your variable. There are some names you can't name variables, like you can't use to name variables. For example, there are some names you can't use to name your files on Windows. So when you create a folder on Windows, you can name it anything you want. But there are some names you cannot do, like you can't name. So similar to like what is on Windows, that's the same thing now on Python. So what names can't I use for my variables? And those are
Hello,
the keywords.
Engineer Dixon. Hello.
Hello.
Please, I guess we have some questions in the chat box, so if you can answer them for me, I'll be so grateful.
Thank you. I didn't see. Is when you say tuples cannot be manipulated or changed, what do you mean? Okay, so that's the first one. Hello, Dixon. My name is Fortune. Thank you for this. Sure. Okay. 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 So Fortune. Okay. So Fortune. When I say a tuple cannot be manipulated, it means it cannot be changed. So okay. Okay. Let me go back there. Okay. So for example, with this tuple, okay, with the tuple participants, I have Samuel, I have Adolf, I have Klabi, I have Buhari, right? So if like after doing this, right? After doing this, I can't change Samuel. I can't change Samuel. So there are functions like pop, there are functions like insert, there are functions like you can even use the indexes. I'll show you what indexes I you can use the indexes to manipulate or change Samuel to Samuel, or change Samuel to Dixon, or change Samuel to Michael, or change Samuel to another name. You can't do that, but I can do that to others. So I think I need to spell the syntax color. So if I want to manipulate it, I will do it. Right now I can do it in code, but I mean after if you use the functions to play around it and you see. I don't want to go there yet. I don't want to go there. So when we get there, we'll come back and then we'll try and manipulate stuff and then see how it will. Technology. All right. Oh, the time is moving so fast. Thank you. So keywords, right? So like I said, keywords are reserved, emphasis on reserved. Reserved words that have specific meanings in Python, right? They cannot be used as identifiers. So if you name your variable as something, if you want to identify it in a program, you just call it. You just say my variable. So I make Kwame equals 8 and then Kofi equals a good boy. If I want to print a good boy, I just call Kofi. So keywords you see, there are more of them. I think I take it too also. I only wanted to highlight some of them over here. There are about 33 keywords, if not more. But then there are some few keywords that Python use, like it's used in Python for programming. So you can't use them as your variable names, as your function names, as your stuff. You can't. So let me show you, for example. So let's take I wish someone could say for Google, but then I just do myself something. I want to just say else. I want to okay, else like okay, so let's say else. I want to name the variable. I want to name the variable else. Okay. So for example, see, I did parameter 8, that was nice. Now I want to name the variable else, and I'll say else is equal to, as you can see, I just finished typing the else and the color change because I'm using the ID. The ID is just trying to prompt me, hey boy, else is a keyword. You can't do that, right? So imagine I type pharmacy. Right. After finishing the Kwame, but if I have already declared it to be underlined, let me just say Kojo. After typing the Kojo, well, it's underlined in red because it's not an English word. That's why. But then it's still white. That means yes, it's a very good variable name. And if I do something like else, nope. Let me take another key. So you see this else because let's say 7. You can see my errors. Just doing stuff over here, great stuff over here. See, statement unexpected, online too, right? Else keyword. It's a keyword I can't use. I didn't see my screen, but then it's telling me it's a keyword. Now, see unexpected. Okay, so online 992, and then these are warnings. So if I'm using Python, the green ones, nothing wrong. The yellow ones are warnings, and warnings might not stop your program. I might not stop your program, but then it might make things like no work very well, but it won't stop your program. But then the red arrows will stop your program. And okay. And so let me go back here. I'm going to try another keyword. I'm going to try another keyword for you to see the reason why you can't use these keywords in as your identifier, as your function names, as your variable names. So something like lambda, not to wow, import, global, from, for. So I'm picking one at random, I'm picking break. So if I pick break and I go and I try and name my variable name break. So okay, I try and do break. See now add the key, oops, see, it's not going to work. So keywords are reserved, again, for go to the dictionary, they are reserved statements or they are reserved words for Python to use in the language. So if you want to name your variable break, you have to add something like break one or break underscore or break or something underscore, and then you can proceed to writing your program. Right, and okay, sorry. It's kind of tiring going back and forth. Okay, so these are keywords. Okay, now I'm going to show you print. As you can see over here, the next thing I'm going to use print. So this. Now I'm going to output this on the console so that you can see. So print is a built-in function in Python. And before that, I have to tell you what functions are. So function is it's a group of code that does a particular job. Okay, so like I said, when you're writing your program, you have a lot of code and portions of the code within different stuff. But then you have a particular code that kind of does something over and over again. So for example, you can have a code that calculates the age of a person. If you want to calculate the age of Amma, use that same code. If you want to calculate the age of Kofi, use that same code. If you want to calculate the age of anybody's age, use that same code. So it's something like this.
Hello, engineer.
Hello, my time is up.
Please, before we continue with the print, let's take some questions. Let's break for some take some questions.
All right. So yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Thank you very much for the presentation. And I guess everyone on the platform will agree with me that it has been an awesome presentation from you, and the basics have been understood, and everything we need, we surely have them. So let me take some questions. Then after that, I'll come back to you. Then you continue for the next possibly 30 minutes.
All right.
Okay. Once again, you are welcome to our monthly capacity building program organized by the Society of Petroleum Engineers. Please, if you have any question, if there's something you don't understand and you want to ask him all by yourself, the opportunity is now here. You can ask him. You can raise your hand and I'll call you, then you ask him. So please, if there is any question or there is a concept that he has already spoken of, but you don't understand, please alert me, then let me give you the opportunity to speak. So he has really said a lot. If there is a particular aspect of what he has said today that you don't understand, or you really think he should go back to it and explain further, you can alert me, then I'll give you the opportunity to speak. Then he will do that for us. Do I have anybody like that?
I have a question.
Adolf, followed by Fortune, then Eric. So we will do it in that order. So Adolf will ask the question. When he is done, Klabi, Fortune will also ask the question. Then Eric will also ask the question. Then when they are all done, then he will answer them. Then we will save some time and continue. So please, Adolf, you can start.
Okay, thank you so much for the presentation. engineer. So I have 3 questions. The first question is there a way to change certain data types into others? Right, that's the first question. I hope you heard the question before I go on to the next question. Can you hear me?
Oh, you want me to answer like, okay, so yes.
No. So
Right.
the next question is,
Adolf should
can
ask
I?
all them when he
Yeah,
is
I want
done.
to answer them. Okay, good. The next question is, can I have a list with tuples and dictionary or vice versa? Is that possible? And my last question is, can my strings contain integers?
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
So, your first question was, can you change a variable like the data type, right?
Yes.
Let's say I did a Kwame 8, right? And then later I said, right, it should be, sorry, I got a little highlighted it. I did a Kwame 8, and then I did a Kofi like a good boy. So I've done a Kwame 8. If I want to make the Kwame, let's say, something else, is it possible? Yes, it is. So let me show you what to right now before I show you. So where's my ID? I'm going to change the data type for you. So, okay. Can you see my screen? Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see that.
So I have Kwame equals 8. Now I change my mind. I want to make Kwame a string. So Kwame equals something like this 8. So this answers your last question also. So your last question was, can a string have integers in them, right?
Yes.
So yes. So that's what I just did. So on the second line, Kwame is now a string. And it's still 8. But now it's a string. So I can see Kwame is now a very bad boy. That's also possible. So if I print Kwame, okay, if I print Kwame, I've not done the print yet, but let me just do the print. So if I print Kwame, right? If I print Kwame and I run my program, right? If I print Kwame and I run my program, I'm a very bad boy. Actually, can you see that in the console? Can you see that in the console?
Yes, please.
All right, sure. So now let me make Kwame 8.
Yes, please.
Okay. Okay. So now it's still 8. Something. You see it over here, right? Run the same thing again. You can see. Do you see something? Please back my score of 9-3 or 9. Okay. So it was small t. Oh, you didn't tell me. I'm so sorry. Small t. Uh-huh. So everything is perfect fine. So this 8 you see down here, is this 8. Because this I know like it's not a comment. But then if I do this, if I remove this comment from there, and I still print, I still run the code, I still get 8. And now this 8 is still this 8. So there's a difference. There's a big difference between them. The first 8 was an int, and then the second 8 is a string. So, Adolf.
Yes, I get it. Now, the second question was, can I have a list with dictionaries or tuples, or can I do that? It's the other way around.
Do you see my ID?
Yes,
Okay,
I can.
you can't, like, I don't know if I mentioned you can do everything. So when you have a list inside, was it list inside tuples and tuples inside list? When you have a tuple inside the list, it's still a list. You can change the list, but when it gets to the tuple section, you can't change the tuple. Doesn't make sense. Do you get it?
Yes, I get it.
So let me do that. Let me try that. questions. There's a lot of, let's see. So let's say we have a participant, right? And an adult, okay, no, lesson, and then I have this tuple, so like this, good. And then I have let me say beautiful and calm, right? I'm sorry, so calm. So this is a list, but it has a tuple inside it. Okay, it's a list with a tuple inside. So I can change lesson, I can change that, and I can change this entire thing. I can replace the whole tuple with another tuple. But when I get into the tuple here, I cannot edit it. It's immutable. Doesn't make sense.
Yes, it does. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you. Next question.
Hello.
Hi.
Fortune. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much for the opportunity, and thank you so much for the presentation so far. I've learned so much. I wanted to ask concerning memory allocation. Okay, so let me just put it in general. So although I'm taking the memory allocation as an example, but generally I'm also trying to look at what was it called again? The older languages like C and the more user-friendly ones like Python. So if you take memory allocation, if Python does not allow us to allocate memories like we would do in C and stuff, so what happens then? Does that mean that Python allows us to misuse memory and all that? If that happens, wouldn't that be at a disadvantage to us? Because if you are programming and you are not able to control your memory usage and you're just doing stuff, and then wouldn't that end up eating up so much memory and cause maybe slow running of the computer or something? And then concerning the other, generally, so the things that like older programming languages would have allowed us to specify directly, and things that you don't have to do now, does Python really take care of it, or it's just free for you to just have this freedom just like that? I would really want to know.
Okay, come up with the last question again.
I was saying that apart from memory allocation to like generally the less user-friendly languages that makes you specify whatever you are doing, and more user-friendly languages like Python that's you don't necessarily have to do, like you were saying, maybe data types and all of that. So that's like the memory allocation, would Python just work on everything for you, or you're just given freedom to do anything you want?
Okay, so let me take your first one. So you're like, since you don't do memory management in Python, does that mean you are misusing your, like when you write a Python program, you are misusing stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like I was saying no. Yes, so no. Yes and no. Yes, being that Python does the interpreter does the memory management stuff for you already. So when you declare something like an int, right? Yes, they do for you already. So when you declare something like an int, so there is, I mean, even Java is a compound language, right? And then, for example, if you declare an int in Java and you put only one digit inside, you are wasting the rest. So an int in Java, let me check the size. Let me check the size. What's the size of an int in Java? I think it's usually 4 bytes. So the size of an int in Java.
I'm about to ask.
In Java.
No, I was checking some.
So
Please, can you mute yourself for us?
It's like 4 bytes. I wasn't on that before. Yes, so I'm still waiting for it to go.
Sorry, I didn't get the
Fortune, are
last
you
thing
are
you
you
said.
okay?
Yeah, no, I didn't get the last thing you said.
So, are you-
I guess he's having issues with his network.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Dixon. Can you hear me?
I guess Dixon has left the Zoom. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, let's give him some time to get back on.
Yeah, sure. All right, so it's been more than 1 hour since we started this program, and I'm pretty sure we have learned so many things from what the teacher or the tutor has taught us this evening. So as we continue to wait for him, permit me to be asking some few questions, and also, okay, I think Dixon is back, so I'll allow Dixon to continue. Hello, Dixon. Can you hear me? Wow. I think he has left once again. All right. So as we continue to wait for him, permit me to ask some few questions, and if it happens to be that your name is mentioned, then please you do me justice by responding. Right. So let's do that for. Okay. Hello, Dixon. I don't know if you can hear me. I think Dixon is back. Hello, Dixon. Wow.
Hello, I'm so sorry.
Uh-huh.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah,
Okay, we can hear
I'm
you.
so sorry.
Dixon.
Okay, sure. So you can
Yeah.
continue, please.
Okay, I'm very sorry. Yeah, so answering Eric's question, right? Eric,
Yeah, hello, please can you hear me?
so are you okay?
Yes, please. My reception
All right.
dropped off.
Yeah, me
Please,
too.
thank you very much. Please, can you go over on the mapping data type, especially the use of the dictionary? I couldn't get that, please. So can you reiterate yourself for me?
Hello, Dixon, are you on? I think he left again. Yes. Sammy, can you please
Hello,
confirm for
Dixon.
me he's still on? Is he on?
Yeah, I think he just left.
Okay.
Just left.
Do your thing and let me
Sure.
Okay.
All right. So as I said earlier, as we continue to wait for him, I think he's back. Dixon. Hello, Dixon. All right. Okay, so Samuel, if you can hear me, Samuel.
Yeah, hello, Sam.
Okay, sure. Thank you very much. So I'm pretty sure you have learned so many things from him this evening. So what was the highest point in the things that you learned this evening? What's the highest point? What do you think, if the opportunity is given to you to explain or to teach people, you are sure you can explain it very well?
All right. Thank you. You're absolutely right. I have certainly learned a lot. For me, the key points would be the IDE and how you could in terms of the importance of the IDs, how it helps you to be able to put together your various data types for your variables. So that's for me is my biggest takeaway. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. So I think Dixon is back. Hello, Dixon.
Yeah, I was trying to get on a stable network, right? So I think we're cool now.
Okay. So please, you can continue.
And someone asked a question about dictionaries.
So Eric, I don't know if you can ask your question again.
Yeah, please, Mr. Dixon, can you go over on the use of the mapping data type, especially the use of dictionary? My
Okay, so
reception dropped, so I couldn't get you.
okay, so I didn't
Yes.
really, I didn't when I was talking, I didn't really talk about the use cases. I just told you like what it is and then like how you can do something like that. So key value pairs. So when you talk about dictionaries, you talk about key value pairs. So key value pairs. So a key and a value. So when you have when you are declaring a dictionary, when you are declaring a data type as a dictionary, you start with the. Can you see my? Let me see something. You can't see my screen, right? Oh, a minute. A minute. Sorry. Can you see my screen? Okay, good. So back here, so you start with the curly braces and then end with the curly braces, and then you specify a key, okay, and then the value, right? The key value pairs. And I was like, the keys should be text, okay, like the keys should be text. It's more like it's a constant. The keys, the keys should always be text, like should always be strings. Thank you. String you can just reference to. And what you can use it for, you can use it for even to create an actual a literal dictionary. If you want to get a literal dictionary, you can just get a literal dictionary. So there are a lot of use cases depend on what you want to do. And I think if you go more into data structures and algorithms, they use these dictionaries in some way. We won't go there with this lecture, but if you want to, so like I said in the beginning, if you have a problem you're trying to solve, you have an application you want to build, whatever you want to do, start with the problem. You forget about language, you forget about programming language, forget about coding. Start with the problem. I want to fix this problem. I want to build this app. I want to build this game. I want to write this algorithm. Start with it, and then move from there. You can even write pseudocode. Pseudocode is more like it's fake code. So fake code meaning you can even write things down without like you're not trying to get the syntax right. You're just trying to get the way the program will run. So we will do pseudocode. We write a very simple script for you to see how it looks like. It works. And then I think I have to hurry up. Eric, are you okay? If are you okay? So we've not gone
Yes,
inside.
please, I'm okay.
All right. We're not going inside the use case of dictionaries. There are a lot of use cases, a lot. Like I think I can use to create a literal dictionary. Like I said, Samuel's an honorable person. So if I want to print like what's Samuel, let me name, since I use a print, let me just print, see something like that, print this, then personalities, right? Oh, come on. Let me just print personalities. What am I doing? Personalities, then let's see, run or who's right? Okay. That's so many more demands. That was but then you can see it worked, right? You can see what I'm trying to do works. But there's an error up here. I don't know what it is. Name error is not defined. Which line? Line 16. Okay. I brought this S here, so I'm sorry for that. See, I printed Samuel. See, an honorable man. Do you see that? This is it. So I printed one Samuel. So if I print Clabby, right? Clabby. Eric, this for you. Clabby. C1. I don't know. And you can see it's omitted these two characters. But I told you that this character omitted the backslash because the backslash is there to tell Python that the next semicolon that's coming is not the end of the program, or it's not the end of that line, or the end of the string. Okay, so let me hurry up very quickly. So Eric, you're okay, right? So you can move. If you have any
Yes, please, I'm okay.
Eric,
Yeah.
are you fine?
Yes, please, I'm okay.
Okay, thank you very much. So, in case you have any further question, you can ask.
All right.
As we round up in the next 10 minutes. So,
Yeah.
if you have any question, please, you can
Please,
ask.
I want to ask a quick question.
All right.
Yeah, concerning the dictionaries where you wrote for Clabby, I don't know. So assuming in this case you use the in this case you use the backslash to escape the apostrophe.
Okay.
So assuming that you wanted to maybe include the backslash. So Raina, it means that if the code says a backslash, it knows that it's just to escape the next character. So if you want to include a backslash, then what do you do?
All right. Yeah, it's crazy. Goodness. Wow. Clavi, you got me. Let me find out. I forgot. Okay, the backslash. Can you see my screen? Oh, can you see my screen? I'm trying to pick it up. Oh, okay. I can't see my screen.
I can see your screen.
Yeah, I didn't project that one. I didn't project that. Oh, okay. I think I just looked it up and then it's exactly what I did, but it wasn't working. I don't know. Let me see. You make it double. Where is it? Let me run it. Wow. Double backslash. Okay, that way. This is so you make it a double backslash. When I did the
Okay.
it kind of skipped me. When I made this one, I was thinking this was it, but then see this backslash is escaping this. The first backslash is escaping this the apostrophe. And then when I bring only one backslash, let me just do it over here. So when I do this, so let's say I want a backslash to come over here. Sorry, I want a backslash to come over here. For here it works. It works. But then for here,
Okay.
I have to do again. You know that's it. So this is funny. All right. So you do it double. So let me see. Fine. So the first one works. So you really don't need to do anything, right? But with this Python is a way. Wow. Thanks, David. I was thinking it was double. So when I did the double, it wasn't working. All right. Okay, let's just move. So you see the solution now, right? Eric, you see the solution now, right?
Yeah, I can see the solution.
So let's move 10 minutes. I wanted us to do this program. Okay. So print, I did some print statements for you before seeing what print is. So you can print strings, you can print with the second line, what you see, it's a string and then a variable. The last one is an int. And then you can join strings and ints in expressions. So expressions are more like how you write math expressions, x equals 2 plus 5. Those things, those are expressions in Python. And then there are numerical expressions. There are a lot like different expressions in your right. So it's more like so I'm coming. So I'm coming. So this is an expression. So something like results equals to x plus star 2 is an expression. I remember I mentioned that Python is just like writing math functions. So I didn't really focus on the numeric, like the plus, the minus, the multiplication symbols, those things. I didn't really focus on our arithmetic stuff because it's just like writing math functions. The only thing you have to know is if you want to do squares, you do it. No more than Can you mute yourself? Peter, can you mute yourself? Thank you. Okay. Can you mute yourself? So can someone mute?
I think we can go on.
Okay, great. So print. So print statement is just to output this in the console. So console is same as the same now. So down there. So when I printed Samuel, an honorable man came down there. when I printed the 8, they all came down there. So that's, we've actually already covered it before coming here. And then input. So input is an inbuilt Python function that takes it from the user. So if you want to take data from the user, it takes it as in the form of a string. So if you are taking input from the user, what this input does is it still takes the input, but it takes it as a string, right? And this is an example of how we are using it. I'll run through like the whole thing quickly, and then we'll use inputs and all the things combined for you to see. And then an expression. So an expression I already talked about is just like writing math functions, like more how you combine variables, how you combine the keywords, how you combine data types and all the stuff in Python to make sense, to create a value. So that's coding. So when you're writing the syntax, it's like these are expressions. And examples, so these are conditionals. So you will come there to, so there will be a certain point in your program where you need to go two directions, or you need to go a certain path, depending on what is coming. So if you, let's say you have like a lot of paths to go, you can create multiple if else statements. I'll come there. So let's say if this the literal meaning of if and else. So if they do this, else do that, something like that. That's exactly the same thing here. So if y equals to y is 3 now. If y is greater than 5, like I said, just like writing math functions. If y is greater than 5, print y is greater than 5. Else print y is not greater than 5. That's very simple. We'll tell you that very, very simple. So those are conditionals. And then it can go deep. Like we have if else and we have nested if else statement. So if you have nested if else statement, we have if, and then we have like another if again, and then we have another if again inside the if. So it's like if with children, it's like if with like, and then iterations. So iterations are more like repetitions. If you want something, you want the code to run multiple times for something to happen. If you are writing, let's say something like these numerical methods, I don't know if you are familiar with numerical methods. So you have to do a lot of iterations to get a specific number, or you have to do 10 times, 100 times to approach a certain number. So you can, in Python, you can use iterations for that. And an example is a for loop. So this is a for loop. This is a for loop that runs through this list. So the fruits is a list now. Now you know what the list is. So the fruit here is a list. So fruit goes apple, orange, and bananas. And for here, all the lists, they have the same like data type. So what this from line 8, what line 8 does is for fruits in fruits, French fruits. That means it will run through the fruits, like the fruit list, and then it will print apple, orange, and bananas. We'll test that one out. I want to run through very because the time is not on my side. Okay. And then next one is a while loop. So there's for loop and then a while loop also are under iterations. So there are a lot of ways you can repetitively do something depending on how you want, or like what you are using to do that repetition. So if you want to do something for a particular amount of time, see for this one, we are doing it 3 times because the fruit has three values inside. If it has 4, we'll do 4. If it has 5, we'll do 5. So what if I want to do it exactly the 6 times? With that, we'll use something like range. So with this, for I in range 3, print I. That means the code will run 4 times, I'm sorry. 3 times, sorry. So they're still right here. 3 times started from 0. So anytime you see range, I will run for it to see. But then I wanted to run through and we'll come back to run one by one. So for I in range 3, print I. So the first value to be printed will be 0 because when you talk about range, I was even seeing some literature, they take the range as a data type. But then I personally don't think it is that, but some literature will tell you it's a data type, but it is not. So what I'm saying is not, but that's what it's saying for this type. So for range 3, I in range 3, so we start from 0, 1, 2. And with the 3 is not inclusive. So the 3 over here just tells you the number of times to do it. It doesn't tell you where to end or where to start. It just tells you the number of times it's supposed to do it. So you start from 0, start from 1. When you talk about range, you start from 0. So you start from 0, start from 1, and then we'll get to 2. So when it gets to 2, that's 1 for 3 times. So we'll just stop. Okay, then so another type of loop is a while loop. So let's say I want to do the thing exactly exactly 4 times, I'll do 4. We'll do 4. Exactly 5 times, we'll do 5. So something like this. What is like there's a condition that's coming, right? There's a condition that's coming. the condition is coming from above, and I have to run my code down like that number of times. So I can run it for 5 times, I can run it for 6 times, I can run it for 7 times, depending on what is coming. So use the while loop, right? So count. So while count is less than 5, less than 55, print count. Something like this. The first value that will be printed, who can tell me? I don't know if you can see. I'll be very glad if someone tells me the answer. What do you think will be the first value that will be printed with this code? If I'm actually running this code, count equals to 0, while count is less than 5, print count. So this is a Python. And before I mention, you can see see this print is, there's a space over here. That space is very, 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 very important. Like very, 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 very important. So in Python uses indentation. So in other languages, there are curly braces that shows you where the block of codes are. So in Python, blocks of codes are separated with spaces. That's indentation. Right? Python uses indentation to separate blocks of code. Other languages use curly braces. So Python, C#, Java, PHP, C, JavaScript, Swift objects, all those languages, they use curly braces to separate blocks of code. But Python uses indentation. So if I bring this print over here, the program won't work. It won't work. There'll be an error because this prints out on this file and this counts it on this file. So I'll take note of that one. So I'm moving very fast. I have to. Oh, so nobody told me the answer. That's fine. So someone wants to say, okay, let's go on.
No, Dixon, I think we should be running up.
Okay. So basically, I want to. I wanted us to build this program at the end. So we build a program that will start. We'll ask the user, how old are you? And then the user will give us the age. And if the user's age is bigger or smaller than 15, depending on what the user provides, we'll tell the user you can drink alcohol or something. And then if so, you can't drink alcohol. So I'm going to quickly build this program, and I'll upload a code to the link I spoke about, allai.com/fpghana. They also share those things with you. So if I run too very fast and you can't get it, you can get actual source code and then play with it. So that's over here. So I just going to create another file, a new file. I just say code.py. So I'm just name code.py. Then I'll start. So if you look at the first part is input, asking the user the age of the user. How are you? How old are you? Sorry. Then we'll take the age. After taking the age, we will do some manipulations to check if the user's age is bigger or smaller than 15. So the first thing we have to do is take the user's age. And I'm going to move very fast. I'm very sorry if you don't see, but I'll share the code. So something like this, you create a variable. Before we even tell the user we want to take his age, we need to know where we're going to put the age when the user provides it. So I'll just say age. And then this is Python. So you don't have to specify a data type. This is Python. And remember the input I showed you in the slides, that function is what's used to take the user's age. So just say input, right? And then obviously over here, how old are you, right? How old are you? So that's over. Coming 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute. Okay, so how old are you? Right, good. And so this will be put here. And I also have to say, what the user will provide will be in string format. So that's like a characteristic of the input. The input will take whatever you provide, but then we'll take it as a string. So that means if you remember when I was doing this, so if let's say I provided 8 here, so this is I provided 8. When the user asks the program asks my age and I provided 8, it will be this 8, not this 8. And then with the difference between this 8 and then the second 8 and the first 8 is that with the second 8, you can't add 1 to it. You can't add because it is not a number, it's a string. But with the first 8, you can add to it. So you can perform arithmetic operations on the first 8, but not on the second 8. Why? Because the first 8 is an int and the second one is a string, so it makes a difference. So let me just do this straight. Okay, so how old are you? So I have to cast it as a string. That means I have to cast it as an integer. That means I'm just forcing it to be an integer. So now I just put this, there's a function in Python that just it. So by just doing this, this small thing. This just is putting this int around this. I've made this age an integer. Then when we get the user's age, we are going to check. So we are going to check if the user is older or younger than 15, right? And something like that. So without use the conditional. So if, so remember as I said, so if, what are we checking? If age is small, so when you look at the work where the work what you're supposed to do, we are checking whether the age is bigger or smaller than 15. So if age smaller than 15, so let's do something. So if age is smaller than 15, bring yourself. If age is smaller than 15, syntax. See, immediately after syntax, see the indentation automatically started, right? If the user is really older than 15, print something. So I want us to use 18. So we can use legal, you can drink alcohol, and you can drink alcohol. So 18. So print what do I say? Print yeah, you can do legal. Sorry, so it's a thing. So if age is younger, so if the user is oh my goodness. I'm sorry. 1 minute. Hello. Okay, thank you. I'm very sorry, I had to pick that call. Okay. Okay, so we are building our program. So I'm starting. So we take the user's age and then we cast it as an int. Like I said, the function of the input, what the input does, the input is the function, I need the function in Python. And I really didn't run through what functions are, but I just told you there are a block of code that like you just that does a particular task. So you just go and call them. And then the makers of Python they've already written some code inside Python that helps you take input from the user. So we are just calling inputs to use those with the lines of code we wrote. So we are just calling the inputs. With time, tomorrow's session we would try and create our own function and then see how to do something like this. So we've gotten the user's age. So when the user provides his age, his or her age, we put it in this age variable, and then we'll come and check if the age is bigger or smaller than 18. So if the age is indeed smaller than 18, we'll say you're a kid, right? And then I'm doing this again. So I don't know if you remember this, but then you're a kid. Sorry, you're a kid. You guys are good guys from something. I separated. Okay. Then else, right? So again, I want you to write. I don't know if you remember the syntax. Let me show you again. The syntax for an if else statement. So this is a simple if else statement. Like I said, you can have multiple ifs inside a particular if, and then you can have multiple you have multiple conditions as well. So let's say if you want to use that to 50 and all, you can use if in Python. Right. Or the syntax or the else if. Right. So this is what I try. And this one is something like this. Okay. If condition do this, else condition do that. And then depending on so right now what we are doing is just bringing something to the screen. That's what we are doing. But sometimes we want to manipulate stuff. We want to even do like a whole lot. So time you want to change something and change a variable, you want to change something, you can still do it. So this is cool. So else brings the legal, right? Okay. Be somewhere here, and then obviously backslash your legal. Take Hennessy or that in take alcohol and take alcohol. Okay, so basically we are done with the program. what were the requirements for us to do again? So we're supposed to do this. So we start. So now we're using 18. Okay. If the user's age is bigger than 18, depending on what happens, we stop the program after that one. So looking at this one, I think we are good to go. So I'm going to run this to see if our program works. So now, so run. So the program is asking me how old am I? So for now, I'm going to say I'm 6 years. Oh no, not 6 years, 6 years. And then if I say 6, okay, so it's telling me I'm a kid. I should go and get ice cream. Okay, now let's run the program again. So for process finish, you see the exit code 0. The exit code 0 means everything was successful. There was no error. 1 means otherwise, right? So run again. I'm going to say I'm 66 or so I'm illegal. I can take out 4, right? That's basically. So we can actually build a lot of functionality inside this program alone. And I think for now, since like with time and all those things, I think this will be for now. So I'll share this code, and in our next session, we'll do something with AI models, API calls, and the rest. So that'll be more like we started crawling and then now we're actually flying. We skipped walking and we skipped running. So tomorrow we are going to implement something like ChatGPT, right? Not even something like we are going to implement ChatGPT itself. Know how it works, how to fine tune ChatGPT for your own self. Then after that session, I've introduced to programming. Next up, I'm going to introduce to generative AI with Python, and I'm going to implement one model, GPT 3.5, either 3.5 or 4, and after that we'll fine tune it. Okay, so now I'm making this AI model my baby. I'm making this AI model my wife. I'm making this AI model my teacher. You know, make the AI model whatever you want. And after that, we'll learn how to make the AI model do something related to petroleum. Since it's a petroleum program, SPE, we'll tackle a petroleum problem with the AI model. So today's session will just show you an overview of what Python is, what programming is, and how you can use it, and some little stuff. And again, like I said, we learn by doing. So if you don't get something right now, that's fine. That's fine. But you just keep doing it, just keep practicing, just keep building functions. You can even build more like more conditions. If the person is older than 10, or you can say, oh, you are too young. The person is 17, you can say, oh, you're almost there. Wait for 1 year. You can just build all those functionalities inside this program, and then we can just play around it. I would like to see what you guys do. If you can do something like that, I'll just send to my mail. And also, we think there are just 8 people here. So if you guys, I'll put this over here. If you can go to allai.com, you realize it's paid, right? And I wanted to give free access to some of you guys over here. So if you can, I don't know, play around the code, modify it, add your own stuff. Next session, I'll show you to everybody, and I'll see you date. You can play around the code, modify it, and add your own stuff. Like just try and play around and impress all of us. 10 people, yeah, but not at least 8 over here. I'm hoping to give 10 people free access to the premium plan for like a month. So I think that's, yeah. Adult. So
Dixon,
Yeah,
grateful.
thank you, Dixon.
Grateful for your time today, and it has been an interesting session. One thing we have all learned today, and one thing we should all expect is the future is bright with you. So let's take some few questions. I know time is fast spent. In case you have any question, quickly let's ask him, then we can call it a day. I don't know if anyone has a question. You can let me then.
I have a question, Tommy.
Okay, so Adolf.
So Dixon, thank you very much. My question is, let's say I want to start programming. Now you've made me understand that you upload the materials on the link we will be sent. The question is, how do I get the ID?
Okay, so throughout the session, I showed you how to install Python for this site. The ID I'm using, I showed you how to get it. But then you can install any ID. Notepad is an ID. Yes, it's just Notepad is like raw. But Notepad can do exactly what I'm doing. Exactly. You can just create a file and then name it .py extension. So let me show you whether I can show you. So you can just copy this code like something like this, and then where is it? You won't see my screen. Let me actually share it. But then you can open Notepad and type this stuff inside. See the file as with the .py extension, and then you have your Python file. So how to get the ID? There are a lot of IDs around. Just search for IDs you want. But I personally recommend PyCharm, which I did Python. But if you want to go more general purpose, then the next one I recommend is VS Code, Visual Studio Code, which is very, very, very good at sorts of that. So yeah, does it answer your question?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So, is there any more question? Are there any more questions to ask? Or is anyone having any question that he would like to ask him? Well, since there's no question, then I think we can proceed. Okay, so Engineer Dixon made a comment or a statement that you can all attest to the fact that he was even in a hurry because he has a target he wanted to achieve, but it is so unfortunate that he couldn't. Okay, so God willing, tomorrow we are going to continue. Same time, 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. So please, let's continue to broadcast this program. Let's continue to share the flyers to our friends and invite them. We have all learned a thing or two. We have all learned a lot this evening. So it is so important and it is so good we extend this invitation to our friends so that they can also benefit from what we are learning or what we are getting from Engineer Dixon through Society of Petroleum Engineers. So it is 5:12 and we have exceeded our time by 12 minutes. I think we are so grateful to Engineer Dixon for what he has taught us today, and we look forward to an interesting session, God willing, tomorrow. Until then, it is a goodbye from all of us.
Okay. Great.